Welcome to Piano Video Lessons. I'm Lisa, and today we're working on the Allemande from the Grade 1 Baroque repertoire by Johann Hermann Schein. This piece is one of the dances from the dance suite of the Baroque era, and it's in 4/4 time. In our first lesson, we learned the accurate notes, rhythm, and fingering, and now we're moving on to adding some more Baroque-style flair to this piece. We're going to work on the dynamics, we're going to work on the articulation, and we're going to play it with a steady tempo. So this is Unit 9 at pianovideolessons.com, and it's Unit 2 of Year 2. So let's go ahead. You can click the info card if you want to get these sheets. We've also got a practice information sheet and a characteristics of Baroque music sheet included in the ebook, which contains all of the Baroque pieces that we're learning in this unit. All right, so thinking about the dynamics, articulation, and the tempo for this piece. Let's first look at the articulation. In the Baroque style, the instruments of the time couldn't sustain the notes very long, so we often use a detached touch when we're playing these quarter notes in Baroque. So we'll lift off after all of the quarters, and that will just give it a detached sound. Next part. And then we'll hear both hands detaching. And again here, both hands. Whoa. There we go. What did I do there? My brain was ahead of my fingers. Okay. So lifting between the quarter notes, next section, in the B section, gives it a Baroque quality. So I'm only lifting after the quarters and connecting the eighth notes. You can hear that connection only on the eighth notes. So the eighth notes I'm connecting, but all of the quarters I'm detaching, and I am holding the half notes in the left hand, or the half notes in general, but I'm not necessarily playing them legato. So I'm not playing this left hand with a smooth connected. I'm playing it more non-legato. So I'm holding and only lifting on those quarters. So that's the first thing we're going to start listening for. So you should practice this. Listening for lift and hold, lift. We're moving, join and lift, lift. Hold two, hold two. So we're lifting off on those quarter notes. Now, we can also start to think about 4/4 time and add a different articulation, which is a stronger emphasis on the first beat. So in 4/4 time, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it creates a pattern of a strong beat at the beginning, and then a weaker beat, then a medium beat, and another weak beat. So we have strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak. Then the next part, strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak, hold, and. So even if we're changing the dynamic to a softer level, we can still feel that pulse of strong and weak beats. So as you practice this piece, start to listen for especially the downbeat on 1. That's the most important one to hit. So we would have, I'll start the B section. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's strong, and then strong, 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 medium. All right, so those are the two main things that you want to pay attention to when it comes to articulation for this piece. You'd like to have your detached quarter notes, and also you want to feel the 4/4 time. You want to feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And also we want to think about the dynamics. Now, the instruments at the time didn't allow us to gradually change the dynamics. And so the performer would either have to flip a switch or play another keyboard at the same time or bring in another performer in order to give more volume to the sound of that melody. So the dynamics that are written in here are that they do not include any crescendos or diminuendos, because this was not something instruments in the Baroque era could do. And also, these dynamics were not written in by Schein himself. They were written by me, the person who edited this particular version of the piece. So when you play it, you don't have to use the dynamics that I've chosen. You can choose any dynamics that you think are interesting. Most importantly, make sure that you used a terraced dynamic where it's on or off. So we can read a little bit about that here in our Characteristics of Baroque Music sheet. But let's have a look how that works in action. I'll follow the dynamics and I'll play you the first A section. So I'll start off piano. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3. Now I'm going to go a little louder, mezzo piano. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3. Now I'm mezzo forte. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you could repeat that exactly the same, or you could do it differently. So you could say, well, I'm going to go forte the first time. Then I'm going to echo more quietly. Now I'm going to go back to forte. Now we're moving to the B section. So here I've marked mezzo piano. And then it gets a bit stronger at the end here, mezzo forte, so just the next level up. So as you practice this piece, decide on a dynamic plan that you feel matches the way the music is speaking to you. You can use the dynamics that are written here in the music, or you can create your own plan. But either way, make sure that you're using terraced dynamics for the Baroque era. Next, we're going to look at the steady tempo. And the steady tempo here is marked as allegretto and 120. So we just can check and see what speed that would be. Actually, we don't need to worry about the speed yet. That comes later. All we want to make sure now is that we're flowing all the way through the piece with our beat not stopping. In stage 1, we were allowing ourselves time to stop if we needed to think. And now we know the piece well enough and we're incorporating these extra details. We're going to hope to be getting things flowing smoothly. If there's a spot where you have a wrong note frequently, or if you have to stop in order to play the right note, then you can use a few different practice strategies to improve your flow. One of them is you could work on playing more slowly. The other one is you could practice just the section that gives you the problem, going nice and slowly through it and gradually getting it faster and more confident and then putting it back in the piece. And another one is the countdown method, which I have talked about in past lessons. I'll just link you to that up here in the corner. So playing it through with steady beat, it doesn't need to be fast, it just needs to be steady. So we have no repeats just to save time. Alright, so that's a nice steady flow on the piece. Take your time with that and break it down to get the tempo flowing steadily. There probably are some places that give you special trouble. Maybe it's reaching this octave down. Maybe it's establishing the new section when you have to move into that B section. Maybe it's where the F sharps come in. But whatever the causes of the problems have been, you want to make sure you've fully ironed those out and get things flowing. All right, so come on back in our next lesson and we're going to finish off this piece. We're going to polish it up so that it is a repertoire piece that we could perform it for our friends or ourselves, and we're going to add it into our regular loop of practice pieces. So come on back and I'll see you in the next lesson.